Hello and welcome to Stardew Valley, and this will be part 14. It will also be the great blundering because I've recorded two full sets of the 3-day episodes, and not realizing that my microphone wasn't on. It makes it somewhat harder to record even the voiceover when you speak into a microphone that's not registering anything. I always double check, always triple check that everything is working as intended. And the one time I didn't do it was the one time it didn't work. Go figure. So instead of having two full episodes of no voiceover, I decided to cut those two sets into one video, making a short breakdown of any highlights there might be of the different days. We have rain, which of course means we don't have to water um, our crops, and that gives us more time to do other things. But obviously we have to pay attention to our chickens and steal their eggs right in front of their noses, which I don't know how they respond to. They must be a bit frustrating for them to see their eggs just being removed. Or maybe they don't register, what do I know. But of course, because it's raining, the pufferfish will not bite, they will only bite on the sunny days. And that means that we don't have to worry too much about fishing today. And of course, that also means that we can pay attention to the mine instead. Yes, the goal is still to gain Abigail's affection, and trying very, very hard to reach that point. Not only is it raining, it's also thundering, which is always nice because it can endanger your crops. And we have not yet reached the skill in order to craft the one item that can protect your farm against lightning, but can also produce a resource, a very valuable resource, depending on whether you need it or not. If you don't need it, it's useless. If you need it, it's priceless. It's, I suppose that applies to an awful lot of things, not just in the Stardew Valley, but in general. We haven't got our normal axe because, of course, it's in the process of being upgraded. So, no gathering of woods, just gathering our normal crop from different plants, of course, and then get them stored and sort things out. I still need more boxes, which is rather annoying. I like having them outside because, of course, you walk outside your front door and then you see the boxes immediately. But you need more boxes than you can necessarily have outside without it looking funky or blocking off your front door, which is perhaps a bit silly to do. But I mean, you could always place some um, chests inside, but I will likely end up doing that for various things later on. We had a very, very dramatic sequence of a lightning bolt blasting one of our trees that had a tapper on it, and of course the tapper was probably obliterated in the process. It was probably the tapper that attracted the lightning, so we have to replace that. Oak resin even is used for a very specific craft, and that is what makes it very, very valuable because it is a craft that will allow you to produce something else. And it is a very widespread something else. I don't think I would spoil anything by mentioning what it is, but we will craft them soon enough, so not to worry. Let's not forget our flowers. Muszą już go. Something that we have to be incredibly mindful of course, is the fact that while I was saying at one point I only want to focus on the greenhouse, because I mean, getting the greenhouse early is super cool because then you can just plant whatever you want, uh, irrelevant of what season it is. But we want to make sure to be able to fulfill the community center as a whole. And while I did mention something about not worrying too much about fishing in an earlier part, the fact that I remembered that Abigail has a liking of pufferfish sort of got me into fishing a bit. I think it's fairly obvious that I gained a lot more fishing skill than I potentially intended to gain. And as such, I will likely be at some point going for the fish that is needed for the community center, because in the base game the overarching plot was to either fulfill all the stuff in the community center or buy a membership of JojaMart and then pay for the upgrades. If you join JojaMart, you just buy the stuff using money, so you have to earn the money and then buy the stuff, which, I mean, certain people don't necessarily like messing about with having to gather one tomato, one cherry, and one apricot, or whatever they're called, in order to fulfill the orders of the community center. But personally, I've tried going the JojaMart way, or route, if you want, path, I think is the proper word. And I didn't find it particularly enjoyable. I just found it, okay, you dump a bunch of cash, now you have a greenhouse, now you have a bridge, now you have a bus reactivated and that kind of stuff. And I found it a bit boring. I do like having to be frustrated about a certain fish not biting when you need it for a certain slot in the community center. The mines, the way they work is that for every 5 levels you go down, you get a shortcut using the elevator, and for every 10 levels you will be granted an item. 0 to 40 is what I call the copper levels. 41 to 80 is what I call the iron levels, because that is the main resource showing up as even on those levels. Even is what I was trying to say. It's surprisingly complicated. And then as you get further down, you get access to gold. Normally in the base game, the rewards you gain at the different levels is fixed. But of course, because I chose the remix, and upon restarting the game, sort of, I also made sure to have both the community center and the mine rewards being remixed. So having the remix, you don't know what you're getting. If you play the game before, you know what you are granted by the rewards. The rewards are not going to change, you're not going to get something different, you just get them in a different order. And it spices things up a bit. You could call it a randomizer version of Stardew Valley built into the game. We got a new location, our seal axe is ready. And now we got a quest from Pam. She wants a beer. We can't do, oh, she wants a pale ale, which is a beer, but we can't really do anything about that right now. So we need brewing kegs in order to actually make beer. But brewing kegs can also be made, used to make juice and wine, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of stuff. So we need to unlock a certain farming level in order to be able to craft them. But of course, we are still hoping to catch some fish for our romantic interest. So it's back to the beach between 12 and 4, trying to catch surprisingly annoyingly difficult fish to try and catch. But it is not exactly the most difficult fish in the game to catch. Some of them are absolutely bonkers. During winter, you need to catch a squid. You get a task to catch a squid. Those are fun to try and catch, even with maximum skill in fishing and some very decent fishing equipment even. It is quite a challenge, and of course you have the legendary fish, which can only be caught once, and in order to appease Willy, as you mentioned in an earlier part, you have to catch every single fish. As I was implying before, because I got started on the fishing skill is much higher than I anticipated it would be at this time, or at this point in the game. So I will likely be going for other fish as well. Getting all the fish is not a concern. Getting the fish for the community center is a concern, because sealing off the individual parts of, or clearing off whatever, individual parts of the community center will of course unlock the community center as a whole. There's one fish we need for the community center, which will only appear during summer, and since I have done recordings after and before, so again before I'm doing this voiceover thing, let me say that I'm pushing it a bit close to catching that fish. In other words, I haven't done it yet, and it just dawned on me that it is, I see, a fish I should probably try to get caught. Yeah, that will become evident later down the line. We have picked up our steel wood axe and breaking up some geodes, hoping for amethyst, of course. Requires a level of luck I don't necessarily have, but we got some stuff we can hand into the library instead. Or the museum, I should say. I'm fairly sure, I can't say for a fact, but I'm fairly sure that a lot of the stuff that you find that you can donate to the library, it has no use besides donating it to the library. And I'm fairly sure that there were certain things introduced later on in the game that actually required some of those artifact things, minerals and things like that. I will likely bump into that once it is relevant. Yeah, the mages wanted us to catch some octopus. Maybe not. Anyway, we were told not to chop the trees in the town. But Abigail wanted us to show up after 8. Not the same day you get the letter. And it would appear that it would appear even. You see, you don't want to see us on a Sunday. So we have to wait yet another day. I just double checked to make sure that I wasn't. But nope. It's Sunday, clear off. Don't want to see you. Yeah, but you sent me a letter. Well, I don't care. Clear off. Come back again another day. So we managed to intercept her. Do you ever get the urge to go exploring? Okay, pretend you just want a free vacation. Where would you go? The old gnarled forest, of course. It sounds wonderful. Indeed. Speaking of though, and that is completely unrelated, but walking through a forest right after it's been raining It's probably one of the nicest set of smells you can be exposed to. If you like that kind of smells. If you don't like that kind of smells, it's probably horrible. But yeah. Anyway, time to feed some melons into our preserve jars, and remember to close the hatch so our chickens are not escaping, making them much more easy to show attention to. That's the main reason I close the hatch. I don't mind them running about. I just have them in one location. It's much easier to pat them on the head and say, "Oh, good chicken." Yes, I decided to sell some of those summer squash seeds because I didn't necessarily want to plant them. What's the report? An anomalous reading. Spooky, spooky. But that's tomorrow. We don't have to worry about that now. And then we are told about the spa. I can't remember whether I mentioned it before. And if I mentioned it before, I called it a hot spring, which is technically the same thing. It's probably very different. What do I know? But regardless, you can enter the spa thing and destroy energy. But as soon as you run into the spa and get dressed into swimming gear, you move significantly slower. So you are basically trading energy for time. And it is only a function I would make use of if I was desperate for needing energy here and now. It's not something I would go and use because it can be a bit time consuming. Back to the fishery. If nothing else, because we get some fishing skills, which is going to make it easier to hopefully catch one of those puffer fish. I'm pretty sure I mentioned at some point that it was going to be much easier to catch those fish than it was to find amethysts in the mine. Little did I know, did I? Well, I did sort of know, but I was anticipating that I was going to be having a bit more luck. Yes, agreed, sometimes it pays off. Win for the treasure. Well, of course, if you don't catch the fish, you don't get the treasure, so yeah. Everything funky, we've got some more bait. It is always useful. Another bait. This is not the fish I'm looking for. This is definitely not the fish I'm looking for. Seaweed. It's not entirely useless. Pretty sure it's used for some cooking recipes. That looks like a tuna. I was correct. Obviously, I sort of know what's going on in this video, but it has a distinct movement pattern when you are trying to catch it. But of course, it's the next day, so let's run in and see what it was Abigail wanted to say. Hey, I was hoping you'd show up. I want to show you something. See this? It's called a spirit board. Have you ever used one? Put your hands on the planchette with me. Now the spirit will guide us towards a... Look, it's moving! First letter is I. Next is heart, which is a bizarre letter. Wow, look at it go. It's spelling it out. W-O, I love war. Oops, accidentally knocked over the board. Haha. It's just a silly game. Doesn't doesn't mean anything even. I have something to do. You have to go. Sorry. Yeah, I was respond like that as well. So obviously she's gravely affected by the fact that she was told that she apparently have a bit of affection for our character. More about that in a bit. I want to showcase this area partially because it's a great source of hardwood, but also the fact that you actually need a steel axe to chop that log that's blocking this area. This area is unique for various different reasons. It has a specific quest that is important during winter, but from a more practical point of view, you have six of these tree stumps, which will each give two pieces of hardwood, and they respawn every day. That is what makes this area incredibly useful because, of course, if you need hardwood, um, you do the math on how much you need, and then you divide by 12, and you will know exactly how many days it will take you to actually gather it if you only use this area to gather it from. You can also find mushrooms and something like the fiddlehead fern in this area. It is sort of gated because, as I said, you need the steel axe in order to gain access to it. So that's the second upgrade of your axe. But it is, when you're hunting for hardwood, a very, very useful location to be aware of. But Abigail's reaction before was rather funky. I mean, she is listed currently as our girlfriend, and you would assume there would be some sort of affection from her side in order to accept or agree to being our girlfriend. Not just today's Sunday, the sun's shining. I can hear the birds. Yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I suppose certain people are more shy than others, and yeah, I'm just. Yeah, I love this game. I have said it before, and I will say it again. I absolutely love this game. Anyway, we have the funky day. You can probably see that the screen's got a bit of a green tint, and the cat is staying indoor. Not because the screen's got a green tint, it is because it's raining, so the cat is not going outside. If we check the weather report, there's no response. And a lot of green stuff have suddenly grown. And it actually blocked off our fruit tree, which is what I find incredibly annoying. Saw the weather report last night, I'm not sure what will happen, but if anyone wants to take shelter in the saloon, I'll keep it open all day. Not Gus. Maybe there's a deeper message from the developer, or maybe it's a chance for people to get access to moss, which is a resource that's been added. Not sure when, but it is used for various different crafting, and I would assume that this could be have been put in order to give people a source of moss, because a lot of the green stuff you chop down will give you moss and fiddlehead fern and all that kind of stuff. Um, Depending on who you speak to in the town, some people think it's funky, some people think it's a sign of bad things happening and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I mean, our good friend Pierre is only worried about the fact that it keeps customers away. Um, Personally, I found this day incredibly annoying. Um, if there is a message about whatever, then well, that's cool enough. But from a gaming point of view, this day causes everyone to stop functioning because, of course, half of them are scared and half of them are excited. And just got off the phone with the governor. Apparently, this is being supposed to be completely harmless, just an unusual phenomenon of nature. Still, some of the townsfolk are panicking, which is never good. Bill is concerned about this fishing. Pam is convinced that it's a sign from the Almighty, and Pam is just concerned about our well-being. The doctor has been the doctor, bringing medical supplies. The only one with a bit of sense is, I'd say, Elliot. Clint is more focused on protecting Emily. He has a thing for Emily, by the way. Let's not get it sissy now. Because I propose around the things to settle the nerves. As I said, Elliot is the only one with a bit of sense. Haley has never been in the saloon before because she's too good for that. But she still finds it to be quite a cozy little place, and she's convinced that the game is going to pass. Going into the community center where all the spirits are running around reveals nothing, and I don't showcase it in this part, but speaking to the wizard, he is just saying that it's something to appreciate, not something to be worried about. But as I said, because I mean, from a gameplay point of view, it's completely and utterly stops everyone functioning normally, and I found that annoying because I wanted the rain, but I didn't necessarily want the green rain, and if it's meant as a source of moss, then I can appreciate it was done, but yeah. If it was meant as something else, then I can't speak for the developer, so I'm not going to comment on something that I might be wrong about. So, as Sherlock Holmes used to say, I know he's an imaginary figure, but he still used to say, it is a capital mistake to theorize without data. Which is very, very true. I mean, you can draw conclusions based on guesstimations and whatnot, but if you don't know that your potential conclusions has any potential foundation in something that resembles fact, then your conclusions will likely be erroneous and useless. So, but we at least could spend some time in the mine, getting a bit further now, and then return home, go to bed, and have a little sleep. Our farming skill went up. Well, now we can make kegs, which can be used to brew stuff, which is what I was hoping to unlock. Now we can finally brew the beer for Pam and beer in general to sell. And now everything is back to normal. Clear Sunday. Spirits and good humor. And a rerun of the King of Sauce. I just want to say sorry for acting so weird yesterday, the day before, and whatever. You probably understand what happened. Okay, bye. That's kinda cute. Come by the shop and check out the new rods I'm selling. Best money you can buy, and you can customize them with different kinds of tackle. Hope to see you soon, really. So we now have access to the next rank of fishing rods, which is directly tied to our skill increases in fishing. I'm saying directly tied. I'm fairly sure that As your skill increases, you start selling the better equipment. So the normal fishing pole is just a normal fishing pole. The fiberglass one we currently have in our possession can take bait, which of course increases the bite rate. But the iridium one will take tackle as well, which is extras you can put on, which will spinners and whatever else they're called. They will do various different things. Either they will increase the bite rate, or they can. Oh, cut myself off here for a second. How am I going to reach that letter in the back? Here, let me help you, Mr. Mona. There you go. Could have done it myself, and I certainly have moved around on my own. How feeble do you think I am? Well, if you are watching us, technically I think she should have asked instead of just assuming, but she meant well, and it was a kind of thing for her to do, so thank you. I just wish George wasn't so upset. I was only trying to help. No, I'm sorry, miss. I shouldn't have gotten so angry. It was actually very kind of you to help me out. That's okay, Mr. Warner, I understand. Must be difficult to grow. That's why we should respect our elders. That's nice of you to say. I totally agree with you. We should treat our elders with the same respect we hope to receive ourselves one day. Well, it was interesting talking to you both. I should go. And off she pops. And we are going to check the price of that new fishing pole. 7,500. And by the way, this is something I'd only noticed it when I was editing this video. He actually had pufferfish bait, which would increase the chance of pufferfish biting. But before we got so rudely interrupted by a what's he called? Whatever she's called. I forgot her name for a second. So rudely interrupted by her being trying to help Georgie. The iridium, the tackle. You can have trap bubbles on, which means that the fish, when they're not in the green bar, the fail to catch fish bar will go down slower when the green bar is not around, things like that. You can also get tackle that will not bounce when they hit the bottom of the fishing bar, because when you hit the bottom it will bounce up and down a bit before it settles, and yeah, that's why tackle can be very, very useful. It can also be critical, I would say, even with the best fishing equipment and the high skill. To catch certain fish, you definitely need everything you can throw at the fishing pole, and you will likely also need to eat some food that increases your fishing skill, which is thankfully something you can cook by a ship. And she was mentioning that she should take the kids to the forest and maybe get a guest speaker that knows about nature. Alex wants to know if you think he can I'm onto something within sports, and telling me he's going to be a sporting legend, and well, just polished his ego, even though it was already shining quite well. Let him believe. I mean, I could have told him that I think that it would be a catastrophic failure, but that wouldn't be so particularly nice now, would it? Harvey wanted to find the quartz. Abby told me that you and her are seeing each other. How sweet. So she's telling her mother we are seeing each other, but she's being so flustered around me. Yeah, well, I mean, each to their own. We are all different people. I mean, I used to be super shy. Ugh. When I was a child, I was about as shy as they come. And then I turned 7. It's not entirely true. I learned that being shy was completely pointless. So I stopped being shy. I was just you can't be a sociable individual. I mean, I like people. I love people. I mean, I have a passion for people. There's nothing emotional or sensual or sexual in that statement. I mean, obviously you're going to find jerks and you're going to find nice people, and you can find both anywhere and everywhere. But I like socializing. I like talking to people. I like sharing my opinions, experiences, and all that kind of stuff with other people. And it's damn hard to be sociable when if you're shy. So one had to win over the other, and thankfully my natural liking of people in general just eradicated my shyness. So, what's the report? Beautiful sunny day yet again. Lovely. Someone known for his lightning storms. If you know how to craft a lightning rod, which we don't, you could capture the electricity and get battery packs out of it, which is useful. Certain things require battery packs, but since we can't craft it, we can't make them, and yeah. Honey is ready. The usual doohickey. Make the eggs, add the chickens, and move on to hardly surprising, some fishery. After we remember that Harvey wanted some refined quartz. Might be a good idea picking it up before we head out to make sure he's getting it even. Oh, sorry. It's one of the few times I've ever visited the clinic, except for one of the games when I was hitting hard on Mario. I mean, when I was talking to Mario on a regular basis. I had to go into the clinic from time to time to say, hello, sweetie. Anyway, of course, he's going to tell us about how important exercise is, but also to do it in moderation, because that's clever. And he's very, very happy about our delivery of his quads. Now we had the money to buy the iridium rod, because I'm hoping that the better fishing pole with some tackle on it will make it easier to actually capture. I was about to say catch pufferfish. They are not cheap. You can craft them yourself once you get a certain level of crafting skill, fishing skill even. And then I blow a bit of money on bait. Quite a bit of money on bait, I'd say. Tools and things like that you cannot sell, so may as well just bin the fiberglass rod, which is exactly what I did. You can actually get your bin upgraded, so once you scrap something, you will get a percentage of its value when scrapping it. But that is not something I want to spend valuable resources on right now. Just get these things attached to our medium fishing pole and then hope to catch a spiffy fish. You are not a spiffy fish. Maybe you are. No, you're not. Almost a fish of spiffiness even. Oh, that is challenging to say. You should be a spiffy fish. I shall capture you, catch you. I hope. There is one of the titles you can get which more or less tries to make the green bar stick to the fish. But I have actually personally found that to be incredibly annoying because instinctively you react to the fish movement and then the green bar is trying to stick to the fish and it gets a bit wonky donkey. But we actually got a puffer fish. Being greedy, of course, trying to catch some more because that saves some time long term. We found an anchor on the beach and I'm quite surprised that no one would have found it or kicked their foot into it at one point, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying to locate Abigail. She wants a puffer fish. But of course he's not at home because that would be too easy. So I suppose we'll just have to hang around and wait for her. Oh yeah, my shoes are full of sand, that's probably living with the beach. Living with the beach, yep, I'm living with the beach. Living on the beach, even. Hey, the birds have a mind of their own. Just like that, everything's back to normal. It's like magic. And I got a fish for you. Seriously, love this. You are the best dwarf. I'm fully aware. Thank you. I am the best. Absolutely amazing. And we now have 9 hearts with the young lady, so we just need one more to reach the magical 10. Because 9 plus 1 equals 10. In case you needed a simple last lesson, you probably didn't. I just felt I would, point it out. But we are coming to the back end of this part, and very happy about that because I was running out of ideas of what to talk about. When you're recording on the fly, it is infinitely easier just keeping the talking going because you can always talk about what you're doing or something uh, associated with what you're doing. But at least we reached level 6 foraging, so we can now craft the lightning catches, which is always good. But I can finally say thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye for now.